Welcome back, everybody. Today we are at Hound, Cincinnati for another year. We're going to be doing a full weekend video. We're going to be here for the entire weekend. So we are going to be going through all of the rooms and just showing all of the booths that the vendors have, everything that there is pretty much to do at Hound.
Got some more booths in the hallway this year. That Season of the Witch bag.
Normally there isn't booths out in the hallway, but apparently there are this year, which is possibly going to make it a lot less easy.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's going to make things a lot more jammed up than what they already were, which gets pretty jammed up. All right, in the vendor room. Fright Rags, right there, great company. Great. Fright Rags is an awesome company. Do a lot of really cool stuff. What's up, my guy? How you doing? Great. I think I talked to you last year about your designs and stuff because they pop off more than what normal, the normal designs are that you would see that everybody.
Use a lot of color.
Yeah, and I think that's what I like a lot. The designs are super creative, super cool. Where can people find you online at?
You can find us on Instagram at Halftone Horror or our website halftonehorror.com.
What we normally do is we usually cruise through and look at everything first, and then when we make our way back around, we'll stop and actually get a good look at stuff. It's a good one. So I saw these in the last video, all of the scare bears, I guess you would call them. A bunch of really cool ones. Always like that Sam one, and then I don't think they had the Captain Spaulding one last year.
I'm not seeing Retro Jason this year.
I do not see Retro Jason. You are correct. I do not see Retro Jason. I see Jason X Jason, though. And these guys are always over here in the corner. This is kind of their spot. They've always been there. They sell a lot of really cool shirts, a lot of retro, Halloween decorations. They do have, the Evil Dead 2 cabin artifacts, which is, the pieces of the cabin I think I showed in last year's video. Black Bat resin. They got a lot of really cool stuff. These cool little TVs and drink coasters. And then, as always, Hound has their own booth where they do sell all of their merchandise, including old magazines, which is pretty cool. They sell the old prints of their magazines. Like I said, Fright Rags is here. Fright Rags is, yeah, do a really good job. One of the best horror companies out there for sure. This is a booth that I buy from almost every single year. It's one of the booths that does have some of the more extreme and exploitation film shirts rather than just, the normal everyday run-of-the-mill shirts. I think there's a few up here I have, including that Texas Chainsaw Japanese one, the Serbian film one I have, and the Red Faces of Death 2 one I have. This is another one that we buy from almost every single year. There's really cool designs. That is their name. Really good kind of, what do you call them? Caricatures?
Hi, I'm Kelly with Jellicoe. Well, my husband and I both love horror, but we also love really cute things, so it's kind of like a melding of the two. I say we mostly just watch horror movies and cartoons, so it's kind of combining everything together.
Same.
Well, I had been going to cons since I was a teenager, so I already was kind of in the con circuit. I used to cosplay and stuff. And so when we started this, we've been doing this for about 13 years. So we started with like anime cons and stuff, and then we like started branching out to like pop culture, comic cons. And then when we found out, I didn't really even know there were horror cons. And we found out we did a few horror cons. We were like, oh yeah, this is where we want to be. Yeah, Jellicoe, at Jellicoe on Instagram, jellyco.com. That's JELLYKOE.
All right, now we're going to start moving into some of the smaller celebrity area. Like we have some people from Subspecies here. Have a few people from The Evil Dead. We have the woman who plays Shelly in The Evil Dead and Linda in The Evil Dead. Linda one's pretty. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. And would you look at this? Look at this, Sam Loungefly. That is so sick. So is the Tiffany one. It's pretty dope. They have the new little kids shirts again. Class Killer Clown. I love it. This is another booth that we tend to get stuff from almost every single year. Most of my wall flags I have gotten from here. They do a really good job. They do a lot of really good foreign ones too. Japanese, both Cannibal Holocaust and Evil Dead ones I've gotten from here. So it looks like, again, some of the smaller people are over here. A few people from Terrifier.
And then just hug the mic.
It's like we have some of the E.T. people out here as well, including Dee Wallace. I thought Dee Wallace was going to be in the big room. There's Brett Wagner, who plays Leatherface in the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is probably one of my favorite Texas Chainsaws. We have the Nun over here. And this is interesting. This is new. This looks like a really nice kind of pop-up shop here. Oh, it's Terror Town. Okay, so Terror Town is a haunted house in Williamsburg, Ohio, I believe, correct? I believe it's in Williamsburg. Here's my favorite booth here, Paul Bearer Press, who have some of the best shirts and merchandise, in my opinion. You got Crypt Keepers costumes. Got Mask Shop here. This is usually full, but nobody here yet. Might not have set up yet. They might only be coming for one day.
They just decided to shove everybody in the hallway instead.
This is also a good one too, because this one has a lot of really good Blu-rays that you won't really find most places or at other booths. A really, really good job of putting out some ones that, like I said, you wouldn't normally find. We are mainly on the lookout for VHSs and vinyls while we're here.
Salem's Lot.
It was super, super cool. I'll probably end up getting that by the end of it. Okay. Hello. The Sand Patch. And best one here, Trauma. I'm gonna look out for Terror Firmer while I'm here. If they have Terror Firmer, I am going to get it. There's the old Poultrygeist. Poultrygeist Blu-ray, and there is Terra Firma. That is a Cannibal the Musical UMD PSP DVD. There's a DVD for a PSP of Cannibal the Musical. So the really tiny Cannibal the Musical disc. which is absolutely sick. We should probably get this. Get the Trauma coloring book.
Oh, with Lloyd on it.
With
though.
Lloyd on it.
It's like everybody's still getting set up for their inky.
Some cool retro figures. Looks like some cards. Maybe grab a Magic the Gathering pack and pull a Mox Diamond.
Or a mystery Hello Kitty card.
Or that. This booth is Lucky Chris always does 3D printing. There's a lot of art in this room normally. It's a lot of the big art pieces, the big artists and stuff like that. Oh, well, you know that. John Casser's right there, aka the Crypt Keeper. That's super cool. Also on the back side of this room is normally the other celebrities as well.
Sorry, Jack Osborne is here?
Yes, Jack Osborne is here. So Jack Osborne's over there.
Nobody tells me anything.
Scott Ian is here. If you're a fan of metal music, looks like Twisted's booth is over there
No way, dude.
with all of their jerseys. So there's the panel room. Like I said, I've shown all of these in previous videos, so I'm not going to go into full extent on them. If you've watched my previous videos on Horror Hound, you've seen kind of the layout and the setup. And here at Ballroom A in the Convention Center is the main room for the bigger celebrities. I mean, we have everybody in here. Bruce Campbell, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, literally all of the biggest people that are here in this room. All right, and then last but not least, in the downstairs areas where they usually have photo ops, also they do have like the cafeteria with the food, which to me looks like they have a little bit less than what they normally have. They got Chicken Mac here again, which is, they're usually here every single year. Nerdy Barbecue, Poutine Machine is usually here. Primetime Pizza, that's a newer one. Usually, I know they didn't have them last year, but the year before they had Rockefeller's. I know they had it like multiple times before that as well. That's a local pizza place in Sharonville.
Thank you.
And then obviously we're in Cincinnati, so you got to give us everything our Cincinnatians want, which is Skyline Chili, which is what literally runs in our veins. This is what a Saturday looks like here, which is an insane amount of people, which is a good thing because you want people, but at the same time, highly, highly, highly overcrowded. There's only so much you can do with a small venue like this. Unfortunately, there's definitely bigger convention centers in Cincinnati than this one.
I know, I'd like to see when we make our way over to that other corner to see if there's actually booths over there today, or if it's still like open.
Justin Haynes, Dead Ink Apparel. I started going to shows probably, I think 2003 was my first show, Cinema Wasteland, and I just like loved it. And I started going to a bunch of shows, and I was like, I'd like to be a part of this, you know? So I came up with this, I was doing different kind of t-shirts before, like artistic, just art stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna do horror-inspired shirts, start doing these shows. Like, you know, that's what I dreamed of doing.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. I come here, I meet all the vendors, I have a good time. Yeah, I got a lot of good friends now that I met here. You know?
Yeah.
We come, hang out, just have a good time.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly like what I'm striving to do, so it's awesome to see, you know, somebody else that was able to do that. You know, that's really cool. It gives me a lot of inspiration.
Absolutely.
And like motivation to do it also. So that's super cool. You based in Ohio?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm out of Niles, Ohio, it's northeast.
Okay, cool. So up near close to Youngstown.
Youngstown.
Yep. I was about to say, cool.
I went to YSU, Youngstown State.
Did you? Penguins, go Penguins.
Yeah, go Penguins.
Awesome. Well, where can people find you at online or store-wise?
DeadInkApparel.com.
Okay.
The website is not up right now. It will be up Monday when I go back. So
Awesome.
I'm going to do inventory, get everything back up. This was my first show of the year, so I'm going to start doing more shows after this weekend.
So as I was saying yesterday, this is the booth that has the Evil Dead 2 cabin artifacts. If you saw my video from last year, you saw that these are actual pieces of the cabin from Evil Dead 2 that you can buy, so you can have a little piece of the history of Evil Dead. That is a really freaking cool cardboard cutout. They have these really cool Evil Dead pillows, Ash for President, you got an Ash versus Evil Dead foam finger, bunch of really cool stuff. A lot of, if you're an Evil Dead fan, you'll definitely like it over here. You can see you can grab yourself a Necronomicon and a bunch of Army of Darkness little figures. Bunch of really cool stuff at this one right here. This is Crypt Culture. We do have a lot of really cool vinyl pins, some what would you call these, car decals that you can put on your car.
I'm trying to see.
Or magnets, I guess. They're not pins. You can see some really, really cool ones up here. You can see these have some serial killers, some John Wayne Gacy ones, the Charles Manson, Captain Spaulding.
Fatty and Shorty.
Yep. Fatty and Shorty, Mothman. We have Spotted Lloyd, who we are going to meet later on. Lloyd, the owner of Troma Films. If you don't know what Troma is, you're missing out. Pretty much an independent horror movie icon. Now, like I said, some of the smaller celebrities out here, including some of the people from E.T., some of the people from Terrifier. Hot take that you've heard me say on a video before is I don't like the Terrifier movies. So, but there are a lot of Terrifier fans here. Brett Wagner, like I said, from the original, not the original, the Jessica Biel 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Probably gonna get some stuff signed by him later on. So we'll go in here. We saw this yesterday. We'll check out some of the stuff they got. Oh no, man down! There's some really cool art pieces in here. Really unique art pieces. It's super cool. Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe with the bone art. Some really cool, very, very realistic.
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool. Oh, hi, guy.
Hello.
A little dog horror fan, apparently. Cool art right here.
Chainsaw Champion of Royal Oak, Michigan, Bruce Campbell! What did you just say?
I want to have your baby.
You want to have my baby? Take your mask off for a second. Now put it back on. I'm kidding, for your own safety. For your safety. No, I'm not going to impregnate you. I'm not. It's not going to happen. Okay, thanks everybody, I appreciate it. Got some ashes here, got some ashettes. Nice to see. People who dressed up as Ash, does anybody ever recognize you from, do they ever know who you are? Oh, always. Oh, always, okay. Well, excellent. Excellent. Who had a burn notice talk? You were talking about burn notice. It was a good show. And I learned a great lesson. Never be the star of a TV show. No, always be number two. Be the number two schmo. No, I had the better schedule because the lead guy, they tried to kill him for the first 3 seasons. And then we figured out a pattern. I would start the day so that the lead guy could get some time off. And then during the middle of the day, I would go home, swim, eat lunch, take a nap while he's doing his business, and then I would close at the end of the day so he could get out of it. Miami the whole time. Yeah, we never left. Yeah, I'm good with Miami now. Yeah, Miami's a weird ass place. Yeah, when we were there, the guy's his face was eaten off. Someone ate somebody's face, and you know, Miami used to be the face of homelessness. Now it's the home of facelessness. So it's a weird place. Miami's a weird. Florida's a weird place. Guess I don't have to tell Floridians that. Briscoe County Junior. Yeah, where were you back then? No, it's good. It's all right. Thankfully, we were the lead-in to X-Files.
Oh, nice.
People were like, "Hey, what's this other show?" Yeah, that worked all right, I guess. Well, who wouldn't want to do a Western? You know, as a male actor. Yeah, man, let's ride a horse. The coolest thing about Briscoe was, this was in 93, 94. We filmed at all of the old ranches around Los Angeles that they used for all of the TV shows since the 40s and 50s. But they were all on their last legs. They were all falling into disrepair because they didn't really do Westerns anymore. We were on a place called the Melody Ranch. Gene Autry, an old, country Westerns movie singing star, he had his lot, but you couldn't tilt the camera up because you'd see all the mansions that now surrounded the property. And you'd hear weed whackers and car alarms, and it kind of ruined the mythos of it. But it was great to see them while they lasted. The Laramie Street on the Warner Brothers back lot, we were the last show to shoot there because they tore it up and paved it over and made it into Wisteria Lane for Desperate Housewives. History just marches right along, That's how it works. It's weird. Feel free to ask any kind of question. Yes, sure. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. I am the mayor. That's exactly right. I am the mayor. Is that okay? Yeah. There's no blood. There's no blood, though. I'm sorry. When the mayor is eating. What an excellent question. Am I actually eating something?
I have a mic now, so.
Sometimes it would be maybe a hunk of paper towel to give you the shape of you eating something, and maybe a little bit of squish. But then I am also acting like I'm eating. Excellent question. Excellent question. Yes.
Mr. Campbell, it's such an honor to talk to you.
Well, you don't know that yet.
I love
We'll
all
see.
your movies. I love all your movies. I love your acting. But I just had a question for you. Was it difficult from switching from an actor to a producer?
Was it difficult switching from an actor to a producer? I was a producer in order to act. First Evil Dead, I had 2 other partners, and we were all producers. We produced it. And we raised the money for it. That's how you become a producer. You raise money out of, innocent business people. And thankfully, they made a shit ton of money off the first Evil Dead. What's the what? Difference between an executive producer and a producer? The producer actually does the work. The executive producer kind of, I don't know, puts the deal together. Yeah. There's just a lot of cigar smoking going on, really, for an executive producer. Yeah. You good?
Am I next? Oh,
What a brat.
right here,
Yeah,
Bruce.
yeah, right here. All right, we're good. That's all right. Yeah, go for it. Hi. Go ahead, stand up. What is your kooky character?
This is my character. So my best friend and I, we work at a haunted house during
Haunted
haunt
house,
season.
right. So you made that up.
Yeah, or both of our characters we made up.
It's got sort of a Harley, is it Harley Quinn?
Kind of.
Harley?
I'm the ringmaster, so
Got it.
yeah. My question is, what was your favorite thing about filming Jack of all trades? I love. No one ever talks about that show, and it's one of my.
You're right, and that sucks. Let me tell you.
It's great.
I got a problem with that. It was a. I thought it was pretty good. We had a pretty damn good time making that show. Because, look, when you work on horror movies, it can kind of get dark. Your mind can go to dark and depressing places. Like when I was doing Ash vs. Evil Dead, I'd go home and watch Downton Abbey, and that saved my freaking life mentally. And I don't even know what my answer is anymore. Where did we go? You got distracted.
Jack of all trades.
Okay, Jack of all trades, that's all right. Sorry, that's Jack of all trades. Well, I have to say, because of Jack of all trades, I have not seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies. I've not seen a single one of them. Ask me why. Because they're boring. No. Appreciate that. Because, no. That son of a bitch, Peter Jackson. He might be a lovely man, I don't care. I hate him and I've never met him. He bought, stole, purchased every horse in the North Island, the South Island for his stupid movies because he paid $150,000 for his lead horse. I mean, these guys had money coming out the butt and they sucked every horse. And I needed one horse. I needed one horse for Jack of all trades. Just give me one decent damn horse that won't throw me into the ocean. It's gotta be around here somewhere. So, I wound up with a horse, I think they called him, Widowmaker or whatever. This thing, had to almost had to sway back because no, Peter Jackson, no, he's got all the good horses. Yeah, so thanks for bringing up that happy memory.
Hi, so... Jenna? All right then, hello.
Hello, doctor. How are you?
Actually,
Are you not a doctor?
I'm a stockbroker in the 1980s and also a serial killer.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
Yeah, precisely, yuppie scum. So, my question is, how would you describe the process it took to take you from going from pretty gory, bloody, oftentimes very hilarious horror movies such as Evil Dead and the like, and how did you ease that into doing something more family-friendly, like the made-for-TV Love Bug movie?
I didn't really make any of that happen in any order, or there's no plan. I have no plan. So shit would just happen. And I am more pigeonholed by my fans than my own industry. I've played the King of Thieves. I've played a cowboy. I've made a French movie, for God's sake. I've covered a lot of genres, but I found if people only watch horror, that's all they know me from. And it doesn't mean that the Burn Notice people watch horror movies either. So some people have found me retroactively. They've said, God, the old guy in Burn Notice did those weird movies, I guess, years ago. So things happen retroactively, kind of. But I have not steered any kind of a ship as I sailed along. Because you got, you go where you go now. I've just made my second frickin' Hallmark movie, for God's sake. I mean, it's different, they don't make Love Boat anymore, so, that's where you go. That's where all the seasoned professionals go. They go to Hallmark. Yeah, awesome. But no blood. It's kind of nice to do shit without blood. Scene 32. You talk to Karen. Okay, cut. Yeah. All right, scene 34. You talk to Joe. Blah, 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 blah. I keep looking around, like when does shit happen? When does something pop out? Evil Dead movie, you can't have a conversation for more than 30 seconds. Something's gonna happen. Yeah, right here. Okay, you go for it. Stand up. Yeah.
I'm a big MC guy, and you played.
A big what guy? You're a who?
Marvel Cinematic Universe. You were part of that.
Oh, I see you're the MCU you're referring to. Got it. Sorry, I'm a little lame on my terms. Yeah. Okay.
I was wondering, since you played a pizza professional, I think for all of us in this room, we could finally end an age-old debate. Does pineapple belong on pizza first?
Kind of a dumb question. But I have no problem with that because the important issue is the Pizza Papa.
Pizza Papa.
If you think he's just a pizza vendor, you are so mistaken. Is he not in the multiverse now?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Oh, interesting. Pizza Papa my ass. By the way, do you realize this? I put an end to Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. I'm telling the truth. I'm in the movie for it's not about how long you're in a movie. It's about the impact that you make. That movie couldn't handle more of me.
Yeah.
So, Bruce, sorry, didn't mean to startle you. So I really loved you as Coach Boomer from Sky High.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies. Woo! And I just wanted to ask you, how did you like making Sky High? How did you like being a part of it?
It was fun. I've been in 2 movies with Kurt Russell. Escape from LA.
Yeah.
And Sky High.
Yep.
And when I met him on Sky High, I was like, hey, how you doing? He's very nice, very cordial. The first thing out of his mouth to me, Kurt Russell says, say work shit. And let me clarify what that means. In Evil Dead Part 2, Ash is having difficulty figuring out what to do with his possessed girlfriend's head. And he gets an idea and he says to himself, work shit. But we put it in kind of a bad spot and we made it a little too loud. So it kind of just sticks out as a bogus line that we added. And his son Wyatt thought that was hilarious. So Wyatt told his dad to say that to me. Say work shit. I was like, oh. So, yeah, Kurt Russell's a dick. It's all right. It's all right. He's fine. The movie was fun. It's fun. Oh, yeah, sure, right there. Yes.
It's an honor to speak to you. It's our honeymoon today. So
Your honeymoon?
Yeah. We started our honeymoon.
Congratulations.
West married last night.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
My question is, what was your
I've
favorite?
enjoyed all my marriages, by the way. Really fun.
What's your favorite Evil Dead movie to film?
My favorite Evil Dead movie?
To film.
To film?
Yeah.
Oh, none of them. No, man, those are a freaking pain in the ass. You either, it's sticky as shit. The original recipe is Caro syrup. I mean, you can make it at home.
How do you make it?
Oh man, it's easy. So you pour out You get the clear stuff, Caro syrup. Costs whatever, $3. Pour out half of it, because now you're gonna add stuff to it. You can make it in the container. Then you take a whole thing of red food coloring, larger bottle, bam, whole thing, put it in. But then it's gonna be too clear. So you gotta make it opaque. So now you take like coffee mate or some kind of powdered creamer, and you whip it up, get all the, any kind of lumps out of it. Put that in there, shake it up, and you put in like 1 or 2 drops of blue food color. So it doesn't get too pink on you. Put in too much, it'll go purple on you. So that's it, that's the recipe. And so that was the shit that was all over me for, 12 different years. It never gets any better either. So yeah. Yes, right here. Go ahead and start. Movie or TV show out of them.
What's your favorite character that you've ever played?
Favorite character? I'd sort of do a top 5.
Okay.
Character Ash has to be top 5 because I've spent a lot of time as him. The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. would be top 5 because he was a smart cowboy. He was like a lawyer cowboy. So I thought it was cool. And because he was smart, you could make the bad guys pretty smart. I actually liked Autolycus, the King of Thieves. Just because it was a lot of fun. We got away with murder on that show for years. And it was a really fun job on the other side of the world. And probably Bubba Hotep would be top. Yeah, it's funny, to prep for that movie, I worked with a guy who was supposedly on the Vegas Strip, one of the best Elvis impersonators. So, sure, let me hook up with this guy, and so I go over to his crappy apartment, and he goes, "All right, show me some stuff." And I was like, I don't know, what should we do? And so we tried to do some stuff together in it. About 5 minutes in, he goes, "Hey, look, man." He goes, "Just forget it. You're never gonna get it. Just forget it." So he quit. I'm thinking more he was like just a sucky teacher, is what I'm thinking. But his great story was, he was performing on this Vegas Strip, and for a charity event, he wanted to use one of Elvis's actual jumpsuits. Because these suits are made by one company, and in the movie Bubba Hotep, they made 3 of them for us. We had to send every single one back because you don't own them. For some reason, Elvis didn't even own those jumpsuits. They all stayed in some warehouse. So the guy was the same size as Elvis, so he put it on, and so he got to perform, saying, of course, that he gave his most amazing performance that night. But the creepy thing was, as he started to sweat, he sort of activated this old suit. And he started to smell brute, which is what Elvis, it was this aftershave that you can't clean these things. You got to steam them a little bit. But these smelled, Elvis, let me tell you, man, that guy sweat like a pig. So these suits, when that thing started heating up, I think that would be a real problem. So Elvis would he'd dump brute all over himself to kind of cover the actual smell of these hideous suits. So that guy got off that night knowing that he smelled the sweat of Elvis Presley. Creepy asshole. Yeah. Yeah, in the back, sure. Hardest scene to shoot in Evil Dead? Well, there almost was nobody who did not get hurt shooting Evil Dead. We all injured ourselves in some way. Guy was jumping down from the rafters, landed right on a 2x4 with a spike coming out of it. The 2 guys, we had to grab his leg and pull it off of the nail. So he just took a bottle of Jim Beam and disappeared into his room for 3 days. we would knock on the door. Hey, Josh, are you all right? No, not today, not today. Okay, all right. Let us know. So about a week later, he came back. My brother fell off a cliff. He was there just for the adventure. He didn't really care about movies. He still has the original shotgun from the movie. Doesn't care about the movie. He just likes guns. And so he was Sam Raimi goes, hey, boy, I wonder what it would look like from up there. I wonder how I would get up there. My brother goes, oh, I'll go. So he goes up some crazy route, disappears, and a few minutes later we hear, oh, shit. We look it up, and the stunt guys would say he was grabbing air. He was doing the full bicycle wheel, and just bam, like his shoes came off. You know, he hit the forest floor, but just beat the shit out of him. And then he disappeared into his room for a couple of days. If you didn't like a movie, don't see the sequel because it's going to be just like the first one. But you know, the fans have kept the Evil Dead ball rolling for decades now, and we're always going to be eternally grateful. And it's always fun to be back here in the good old Midwest. So thank you for coming. Have a great day.